Alright guys, let's get started. This is my beautiful model. We're going to start off by cleansing her face with the Garnier Micellar Cleansing Water. Then we're going to go in to moisturize her skin with the Clinique Dramatically Different Moisturizer Lotion. And this is going to help her products stick on better. I will be priming later on, but let's go right into the brow. I'm using the Brow Freeze by Anastasia Beverly Hills. And I'm using a Morphe brush just to kind of brush that through with the spoolie. And just brush them straight up. I'm not going to leave them up. As you can see, I am brushing them through and then kind of straighten it out. Then I'm going to go in with Anastasia Beverly Hills brow pomade in the shade Ebony. As you can tell, she has extremely dark hair and full brows, so I didn't feel like I needed to do too much to her brows. Then I went in with the shade 125 light neutral from Milani Conceal Perfect concealer, and I am using that to clean underneath of her eyebrow, as well as using it as a base for her shadow. This pink primer, it's actually not a primer, it's like the P. Louise bases, but they're from Amazon, and this one is in the shade pink. I do have a video using them. They are very good. And then here I'm going in with a ColourPop shadow in the shade Fair Play, and this is their single shadows, and I'm just going in and blending that into her crease. And as you can tell, I am building it up little by little and blending. I did have to remove a lot of footage from the video because I didn't want the video to be extremely long. I managed getting it down from like 40 minutes to 13 minutes, which is to me a lot better than 40 minutes. And I'm just packing the shades on and blending them in as I go. Now this orangey shade, it's also by ColourPop, a single shadow, and it's called Slim Fit. Here I'm just cleaning up her eyelid with some micellar water on a Q-tip, and this is just going to clean her eye space so I can go in with the next product and it's not muddy or super thick on her eyes. So now what I'm going to use is the P. Louise Base Pro in the shade Rumor 02, I believe is the shade, and I'm just going in with a flat concealer brush and kind of applying that on her lid to kind of create a cut crease type of look so we can go in with our next shades. Next I am going to be going in with the same shadows that I used on her entire eye. Basically we're gonna just go back in with the same exact shades. So right now I'm just placing the shade Fair Play from ColourPop, and then I'll go in with that orangey shade in Slim Fit in the inner, well, the mid part of her eyelid. So I'm just placing it and blending it at the same time. As you can tell, I'm pulling her eye up, like her eyebrow area, so that I can work very well in her crease area. Kind of allows more, like you're kind of stretching the area so that you can get more of a flat surface to work on. Kind of gets rid of the wrinkles in the eye, so it kind of helps you apply the product onto the eye. Then I'm going in with Yami's Boutique Fire Shimmer Pigment. This is a beautiful pigment. Throughout the video you'll see it kind of disappears a little bit, but I go back in with it. Next I'm going in with the Urban Decay glitter liner, and this one is in the shade Volume. It's like a beautiful pink shade. Then for her wing liner, we're going to go in with my favorite liner, which is the Maybelline Lasting Drama, and it's in the shade I don't remember what shade. Oh, the Blackest Black. And we're just creating a wing so that we can go ahead and apply some lashes. I wasn't going to apply the wing, but of course I love to use a wing. So then we went in with the NYX Hydration Primer, and we also used the Anastasia Liquid Glow in the shade Perla. Now for foundation, she is extremely light. As you can look at her neck, she is extremely pale. So I went in with my NARS Radiant Foundation in the shade Zyberia, I believe is how you pronounce it, but it is their Natural Radiant Longwear Foundation. And we're just going in and using a Real Techniques, I'm not sure the name of that brush, but It is by Real Techniques, and I'm kind of just using it to pat that into the skin and blend everything out. Now we're using my Shape Tape, and that's in the shade Fair Neutral is the shade, and I'm just applying it underneath her eyes, on her chin, her cupid's bow, her nose, and her forehead to kind of give a brighter look to those areas. And I just have her sitting for a few minutes while that concealer kind of dries down a little bit before I go in with a Morphe brush, I believe, and kind of blend that out. I did use some setting spray to kind of help move the product around, and it's the Cover FX High Performance Setting Spray. It's their 24-hour setting spray, and we're just going to go in with a Morphe brush and kind of blend that out. Now I did allow this concealer to kind of dry down a little bit in between application or powder, and just because it's easier if it dries down before you set it. Here I'm going in with the shade 395 Walnut, and this is by Infallible, L'Oreal Infallible. These concealers are amazing. I do use them for contouring and concealing as well because they are great. They do dry down pretty quick and they're matte, so you have to work pretty quickly with these concealers. But we're just going in with the same brush I used to kind of blend out the underneath part of her eye with the lighter concealer and kind of just blend it out together. And I'm going in with the same brush that I used for my foundation, and I'm just going to blend everything together. Kind of having extra product on your brush kind of helps you blend in between products. Now I'm going in with the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Banana Powder. If you guys have not tried this powder, you have to try it. It is beautiful for light complexion. I absolutely love this powder. I use it on myself, and it's very rare where I have light complexion clients, but when I do use this banana powder as well as my RCMA powder, but this one is the banana powder by Wet n Wild Photo Focus. And we're just going to use that underneath her eyes, as well as cleaning up the jawline a little bit just to kind of show out that contour. Then I did go in with my bronzer, and the one I used is the Cocoa Powder by Too Faced in the shade Light. And she's, again, extremely pale, so I did go in with the lightest shade. But as you can tell, I did give her more of a bronzy look because she needed some color. She really did. She was extremely pale, and we needed to bring her face back to life. You never want to just put foundation and leave it that way without adding some dimension to the face. So going in with some bronzer and some contour and maybe some blush on the clients will definitely bring their face back to life. Next for blush, I did go in with the Kylie pressed blush powder in the shade We're Going Shopping. And actually, I just started using these products by Kylie. I've never tried Kylie Cosmetics other than her lip gloss, and I really do enjoy her blushes and her highlights. So here I'm just spraying her face down. I did use the MAC Fix Plus, the regular one, and we're kind of just spraying that and then going in with the same foundation brush and kind of pushing that into the skin, removing any powder residue that's behind. You don't want your clients to go out in the sun and you can see that they have powder on their face. You want it to look like skin. So moving on to highlight, I did go in with my highlight from MAC Cosmetics in the shade Whisper of Guilt. Of course, it's a famous one. I absolutely love that highlight for fair complexion, and it looks stunning on her. So we really had great conversation throughout the process. I really enjoyed having her in my home. literally had the best conversation. The vibe was just there, and I'm all for it. I love people, and I love, you know, working on all types of beauty. So definitely shout out to her for allowing me to record while I work my magic. So we're just putting the highlight, of course, in the infamous spots: cheekbones, nose, cupid's bow, a little bit on her forehead. Here I'm going in with a Morphe pencil, and this one is in a white shade. I'm not sure if it's called white or what the name of it is, but it's a Morphe white pencil liner. And then for her lower lash line, we're gonna go in with two different shades. We're gonna go in with Blueberry by Makeup Geek, I believe is the brand, and we're just going to use that in the outer portion of the lower lash line. And then we're gonna go in with a green shade, also by Makeup Geek, and that one's in the shade Fuji. And we kind of blend that out and smoke out her lower lash line. Here we're going in with some Amazon lashes. I'm sorry, I'm not sure what the name of the lashes are. I just order them. It's like 20 lashes in a pack, and they're like fairly fluffy and wispy. So those are the ones that I used. And then for her lips, I did go in with these new liners that I'm trying out, and I'm absolutely in love with them. They're by Italia Deluxe. They're from Amazon. And this one is in the shade Pink Nude. I usually do use MAC liners, but for some reason my MAC liners are a little bit on the drying side. So I was recommended to use these Italia lip liners, and let me tell you, the price of the Italia lip liners versus the MAC one, I rather buy the Italia ones versus the MAC, because again, my MAC ones go on fairly dry. So here I'm going in with a liquid lipstick by NYX. It's their NYX Lingerie line, and this one is Lace Detail. And I'm just going in to kind of fill in her lips. Then I'm going to top it off with a Zoeva lip gloss, and I don't know the shade of this gloss. I can't even read it off the packaging. So we're just going in with a nice sparkly gloss. And next we're just gonna go in, and you want to blend everything together. You want to make sure that everything is seamless. You want to make sure that everything is blended in together. You don't want to see any harsh, sharp lines. You don't want to see any powder left behind. So I use my foundation brush and kind of just pat over top of my work to make sure that everything looks skin-like and smooth. Then we're just going back in with the lip liner and kind of lining her lips again, and here she is. The look is complete. She was loving the look. She was, of course, feeling herself. I absolutely love it. Love you guys. God bless, and I will see you guys in my next video.